Hello everybody and welcome back. My name is Danley the Manly and today we are doing a gun review. I kind of want to get started on doing reviews on classes like the assault class. I want to do a review on the support class. One of the classes that I just give my opinion on them and or give my loadout to kind of help people who have just started out and want to do amazing things with them, or just like show them tips and tricks on how to use these classes on use it to their advantage and win the game. But today we are going to be reviewing one of the worst weapons in possibly all of Battlefield. This gun was extremely frustrating. It is horrible. It is the worst. So let's just jump right into it. And today's review is going to be on the SS-26 incendiary round shotgun, available only in the assault class as a gadget. It is unlocked through doing the challenges on Assault Expert 1, which requires you to get 30 kills while the adrenaline injector is active and earn 10,000 score in the assault class. Then you'll be able to unlock this horrible piece of trash ever created, ever implemented in any video game. And the only reason I ever had to use this piece of garbage is because I'm trying to complete another challenge which requires me to use the said shotgun, and do 500 damage with it. So I played seriously. I thought 500 damage was just going to be the simplest of tasks, but it literally took me 3 matches using this. Just using this thing. I didn't use anything else. I didn't use my primary gun. I didn't use my pistol. I didn't use anything else, and it took me 3 matches just to do 500 damage. Don't get me wrong. There's some pros to this. You can shoot the ground, which shoots fire, which is it is an incendiary shotgun. So once you shoot, it'll the buckshot kind of disperses the fire, and kind of just produce like a ground of fire. But that's literally all it is. There's no damage to it. I mean, the damage is minimum, and you'll probably see it throughout this video, and you'll just see the minimum damage it does. Even at point blank range, this thing only causes about 20% damage on a person. It takes, look at this. I mean, it took 3 shots just to get some people down. And then if you do die while you do this damage, then that damage that's supposed to go for the challenge does not count. It goes away once you die. And so that was the reason why it took me 3 matches just to complete the dumb challenge using this weapon. And when I tell you this is the only thing I used in those 3 matches, and it took me 3 matches to get 500 damage. And the reason I'm explaining this is because 500 damage is not a lot. You can do probably 100 damage with a grenade kill. But I probably rounded up about 20 kills with this thing and still could not reach the 500 damage to do, to complete that challenge. With that being said, there was an update on this weapon with the new patch that was released. On the SS-26, it says fire damage now only applies once to soldiers. Damage drop-off has been adjusted. Unlock requirement reduced from rank 1 to rank 0, which basically means that they dropped the unlockment from being, you can unlock it a lot faster now. The fire damage now only applies once to soldiers, which means once you shoot them, that's the only time that fire will do damage. You can't do additional fire damage to those soldiers. All right, now let's break down the pros and cons of this weapon. I know I've been very negative on this weapon, but let's go into the pros and then we'll break down the cons. But really, the pros to this weapon, it's the fire concept that has been added to this, that you can actually shoot fire with the shotgun instead of having to use the incendiary M320, which is like a rocket launcher, grenade launcher, really, an incendiary grenade launcher, which you can kind of carry it around, and you're in a tight space. You can kind of shoot the ground and create fire for the enemies, and you can kind of and another thing that you can use with, it's a pro for this. I'm sorry, I'm struggling. I'm trying to be nice here. Is that you can use it with your primary weapon. So you have a shotgun, which is already in the assault class, but you get a fiery shotgun, which is also really good. But that's just the pros of it. Now let's go down to the cons. It is the very lowest damage output weapon that's been out there in Battlefield 6. The fire damage is completely weak and unreliable. You cannot use this weapon against vehicles. There's not, probably only the ATV that you can use this on that could probably do some damage, but not a lot. It takes some of your gadget spots. You can't have the. You want to use your deployable beacon. You probably want to have your actual shotgun. It takes one of those spots, and it's the last con that I can think of is using this weapon to complete a challenge that requires only just a minimum of 500 damage, and it is completely unbearable. So those are the cons. Those are the pros. And to kind of expand on that is just really is flushing people out of like small rooms. So you're playing especially on close quarters. It's flush them out of the room, or just kind of start a fire near them to kind of get them going, to startle them a bit, kind of surprise tactic if you might, But another thing that you can possibly do is if you're just playing Battlefield 6 for fun and you want to have some fun with this and you like shooting fire, you're a pyromaniac, this is your weapon, buddy. This is your gun here. You go ahead and use this, have fun, run around with whatever you want to do. And as you can see here, I mean, it does splatter. The buckshot is probably the only good that's in this weapon. But, I mean, look at this. I had to go back to my primary gun because the fire only hits them once and it only burns them once and it doesn't continue to do damage to them. And then of course I did that, obviously, but I mean that's because the knife couldn't. You can't keep swinging the knife like a real person. It takes a minute to kind of reload. It's like it's unfair. That's not the point. The point is, let's get back to this gun. And it's not just me that's complaining about this weapon. I mean, there's like a variety of people, a good amount of people in the Battlefield community that are just disappointed with this weapon due to its low damage, unreliable fire effects, and the poor usability. People just avoid it altogether. Like nobody wants to use this weapon. If you do want to go with something that causes a fire, that would just go to the fire. Incendiary grenade launcher. So, with that being said, guys, that has been the review for this piece of trash weapon ever created. And obviously, I had to write a tweet and send them out to EA and be like, bring the mass, S26 back from Battlefield 3. Probably one of the best shotguns or attachments ever created, ever added to an assault class. And that has been my review for the SS26 incendiary round shotgun in Battlefield 6. A 0 out of 10, a -2 out of 10, if you will. I mean, this gun cannot be used in any competitive setting. It cannot be used to win fights, to win a game. I mean, unless you have an incredibly good team that can kind of carry you through it, cannot be used in any real match. I mean, should not be used in any match, really, unless you want to complete the challenge that I try to complete also. This gun will get you nowhere. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this video because I'm getting frustrated just looking at me use this weapon. But if you did like this video, go ahead and drop a like, comment on any suggestions on what you want me to review next, any classes which will be coming up, and I'll see you guys later. See ya.